Hey there, YouTube. What's going on? Parish Plays. Got a fun one for you today. I'm going to be showing off what master sets I have completed so far and what my plans are for master sets in the future. Again, the title of this video is something like my favorite part of the Pokemon hobby, and master sets truly are my favorite part. If I had unlimited funds, I would complete a master set of every single set of Pokemon cards, take a page out of Real Breaking Nate and Danny Phantom's book. I would do that 110% if I could afford it. I'm just priced out of so many of them at this point that I just collect the ones that are fun or the ones that I make good progress on. My general strategy is to open one booster box and one ETB of each set and kind of see where I'm at from there. So I'll get into it a little bit more. Had to have one here to kind of catch your guys' eye to get you to watch the video, but I appreciate those that are watching. The support's been great so far. I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna go grab, you can kind of see the rest of my binders back there, but I'll get into what ones I've completed so far and what ones I'm working on in Scarlet and Violet. So the first set is obviously Scarlet and Violet base. So when I first started collecting Scarlet Violet base, my first thought was I'm gonna get a master set of every set in Scarlet and Violet, and that was my big grand plan. And I had, great ambitions going into it, but stopped real quick after Paldea Evolved is really the one that stopped me because of the Magikarp and how expensive it was. I think actually at the time the Iono card was the one that was popping off. I think it was probably $80, and I just couldn't justify paying $80 for a trainer card, and that's when I kind of thought, is this really worth it, or am I just kind of doing it to check a box? It was really the point where I was like, it's not really collecting what I like, it's just kind of collecting to check a box or something like that. So it just didn't feel right in Paldea Evolved. Scarlet and Violet base, though, is where I started, and I love this set. I know it's kind of smaller, and base sets don't normally do very well, but for a base set, this set is incredible. I mean, look at these illustration rares. I'm so happy they kept these going. And as far as first ones go, this is a beautiful base set. I mean, this is the Drowsy that went crazy, and that's what I was going to say about these master sets. It's going to be hard some of these times when random cards will go crazy out of these sets. It was really hard not to sell this card when it bumped up to like 50 bucks or whatever it was. But I kept it in here to keep the everything intact, because again, just having it all laid out here in a binder is so cool in my opinion. I absolutely love it. Looking at what I've pulled so far in Scarlet and Violet, I was going through and organizing everything. There are so many full art cards in Scarlet and Violet, and their pull rates really aren't that crazy. It's one of the most common rarities I have, besides the X's, is the full art cards. And does anyone even like the full art cards? I mean, some of them are alright, but it's just a basic card on a basic background. So really happy with the art direction of illustration rares, special illustration rares here. Some of these are super cheap, and that's kind of a point that I'll get into in some of my other sets, but it's just how cheap it actually is to put together these master sets. So beautiful Scarlet Violet base, and I love these Voltex binders. I had, again, one of every binder because I was going to collect every single set. So I have one of every Voltex binder, but that's no longer part of my plan, so I'll probably have to sell those off. But now on to the next set. It's going to be Scarlet Violet 3, which is Obsidian Flames. Again, I skipped Paldea Evolved. I actually put together a binder and had made really good progress, but yeah, the Magikarp went up to like 250 bucks, and I just couldn't justify that. So as I was saying in the other one, the great thing about master sets, especially a small set like Obsidian Flames, is that you can buy almost the entire master set for the price of one booster box, which is just absolutely crazy. And I know, it doesn't make sense financially to put together a master set. You'd rather just buy the booster box and wait, but again, life is not all about financial optimization. Even for me, finance major, finance is a huge part of my life, but it's also about having fun and enjoying the ride. And again, putting together these master sets truly are the most fun for me. Obsidian Flames, Charizard set. Again, I'm a Charizard guy. Kanto for life. So this one was just a no-brainer to put together because it's so cheap. And has, again, beautiful illustration rares. It's not like I'm putting this together with just rainbow rares or full arts or anything like that. I mean, these cards really are beautiful. I love the Pidgeline. Obviously, the Ninetales back here. Beautiful card. Gloom, Cleffa. Awesome cards in this set. We got the Charizard here, special illustration rare. This I still need in a 10. One of my other goals is to try and get a PSA 10 copy of every Charizard from Scarlet Violet. So this one I've graded probably like 5 times and haven't gotten a 10 yet. So this is one that's kind of fun too. I was on opening weekend. I was up in Gainesville, I guess 2 years ago, and was trying to chase this down and found a local shop that was able to sell these a week early. Which, if you're a local game store, you can sell them a week early. So I was able to buy this set and open some up then. But I got smoked on that opening. I think the only thing I pulled was this, or was the Houndour right here. So cheap set, but in my opinion, one of the cooler sets in the Scarlet and Violet era. So awesome to have this one. Alright, the next set was the one that I teased earlier, 151, and this set is the GOAT. Again, I'm a Kanto guy, so in my opinion, 151 is the best set of Scarlet and Violet. I do love these 12-row binders. The 9 rows are pretty nice, but I like having the cards so you can kind of see the regular rare and the reverse holo next to each other. But again, that's all just personal preference. However you want to put together the binder, there's no wrong way. And unfortunately, Vaultex didn't have specialty set binders until Black and White recently, so they don't have a specialty set binder for 151, which would have been cool. But amazing set here. And another fun idea, you know, if you can't afford all of 151 because it's too expensive, because 151 is one of the more expensive ones, and again, I only do this for really special sets, and as a Kanto guy growing up with Kanto, this was obviously one I had to try to collect. But another fun way to do it is like my brother did with his nieces. They had a 151 binder where they just wanted to collect one of every Pokemon. They didn't care about the most rare. They weren't trying to get every, you know, the Charizard, Blastoise, Venusaur. They were just happy to get any the Blastoise EX, Venusaur EX, and Charizard EX for their binder. So they just put it together as a sort of Pokedex binder, which is another great idea. I've got a national Pokedex binder that I'm working on too. But another way to keep the hobby fun, which has kind of been the theme recently, with things being hard to get, is that, you know, just find ways to make it fun for yourself. And this 151 master set was obviously the most fun for me. Just this page right here is absolutely incredible. I kind of laid it out a little bit differently. I strayed from the way they have it in the booklet, but I think having these three all together in a line like this looks amazing. I think, you know, obviously that would look better in just a 9 pocket, but we've got the full arts there with them, so that's cool. And then I wish this got the Black and White treatment where every single one of the Pokemon got an illustration rare, but maybe we'll get that a little bit later down the road. And then again, a lot of these full arts, but beautiful gold cards. I still like the gold cards. And then I added the promos in here, the Mew here, the Mewtwo here, some of these promos, and then again some of the promos on the back. I've got the 151 Bulbasaur, the Charmander from GameStop I have graded, and then the Squirtle from Pokemon Center. I actually got it when I bought the 151 UPC, but then I graded it and sold it, and I need to buy that card back because that's kind of the only promo card that I don't have in here at that time. And then a whole bunch of the Holo Energies. I actually was a fan of the Holo Energies. Also, I'm not sure if putting these little things in here help, hurt, or do anything. Let me know in the comments if that does anything. And now from the best set in the Sword and Shield era to maybe the worst. Is Crown Zenith or is Stellar Crown the worst? Do people think that? The thing about this one is it's a super small set. So like I was saying, we opened one Elite Trainer box, or no, one booster box and maybe 1 or 2 ETBs. And when I was putting this binder together, I realized, wow, I have almost all of the commons and uncommons just from what we opened. So that was kind of another, this is a very small set. And when I was looking at, you know, buying singles that I wanted for my collection, there were 3 from this set that I really wanted. And when I finally purchased those ones, I took a look at what I was missing, and I'm like, wow, really, after you buy the Squirtle, the Bulbasaur, and this Terapagos here, it's really cheap to complete the rest of the set. So I might go ahead and do that. This is, again, on my list to potentially complete, and again, because it's so small. And the thing about the master sets is, again, I hate to open all my boxes and just put all my commons and uncommons in a bulk bin to be sold later down the road for, like, you know, less than a penny on the dollar. I love to be able to put them into a binder like this and just flip through them. I mean, these are beautiful cards. My favorite content was when PokeRev did his try to complete a master set. He would just open packs until he could complete the master set. That was the one when I was first getting into the hobby, and I was like, oh, that is my dream, to just be able to open everything to try and fill out master sets. But obviously I can't do that, and, you know, so instead of doing that, if you look at singles are super cheap. Especially now in this rip and ship culture, everyone's opening all their products, so, which means there's a ton of singles flooding the market. So singles are usually pretty cheap. unless they're real big chases like the Magikarp or anything like that. But usually you can get them pretty cheap even on release. Like the Magikarp, you could get pretty cheap on release. And then my last set here that I'm working on is the newest, well, not the newest anymore, Destined Rival. It's the newest booster box set, but it's the last booster box set in Scarlet and Violet. In my opinion, the best booster box set in Scarlet and Violet era. I don't think anyone would have any, arguments about that. This set is so good. I love it. Obviously, you could say it could have been a little bit better. The combination of Heatwave Arena and the Team Rocket set just makes it so much better because you've got the Ho-Oh and all those other cards in it. It just makes it so much better. I mean, this set is just amazing. And this is another one. We opened one booster box and 2 ETBs and a few random sleeve blisters here and there. And this is what we've come up with so far. So again, even if you're not doing we're missing some reverse rares, obviously, but without the reverse rares and some EXs. But without those, you put these in a binder like this, and it looks pretty complete. I mean, you're only missing the reverse hollows. Those, again, I'll go back and buy, and for the price of a booster box for $300, you can buy all of the reverse hollows and common cards. So there's no problem with that. It's just a matter of getting the special illustration rares, and those, you just take your time, get them over time. My typical rule of thumb is to try and wait about 6 months to a year before I even start looking at these. There are some illustration rares that will be the exception to that rule, and those are anything that could be like a Magikarp. I got burned on the Magikarp when it was like 50 to 80 bucks, and I didn't buy it. Now it's 250. So those, the really crazy ones like these Misty cards are the only ones that I'm really trying to get up front. Everything else I'm going to be patient on, and I'll wait for them to come down. We have pulled the Team Rocket's Mewtwo. Actually, we pulled that twice, both out of sleeve blister packs, which is incredible. So I sold one of them, and then I'm grading the other one. So I'm okay to have graded copies that are not in here if it's a really good card. And if I think it can 10, then sometimes I'll keep a copy outside of the binder just because it's worth so much more. And there's enough else to look at in the binder that I'm okay with that. And the one card that I did sell, was $370. I can buy the Cynthia's Garchomp and the Ho-Oh, or the Ho-Oh and the Moltres for that amount of money, and that fills out 2 huge slots for me. And then, I'll fill out the rest as the years go on. This set will be in print for 2 more years, and that's 2 more years of going to Collecticons and all that and seeing the singles that people have and trying to buy them then. So I'm in no rush to complete this. Again, my typical thought is 6 months to a year before I even start looking at singles to buy. So that's kind of my thought process. Let me know in the comments if you are collecting master sets in Scarlet and Violet era, or if you've collected any in the past. I know I've got some from base set Jungle Fossil, those. Crown Zenith is another one that I've got. So let me know in the comments if you like completing master sets, if you're looking at any, and just, let me know, again, what you're doing to keep things fun. I appreciate you guys watching this video. There's another one over there if you're interested, and I will catch you guys in the next video. I appreciate it. See ya.